Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jerry Orani, the next reporter, and my topic is all about inference. Last meeting, we tackled about the questioning, but this afternoon, we will discuss another topic, which is the inference. Anyone from the class know what is inference? None? Okay. Based on the module, inference defined as the process of drawing a conclusion based on the available evidences plus previous knowledge and experiences. So in other words, inference is an idea or conclusion that's drawn from evidence and reasoning. So for example, there's a crime. So dito papasok ang inference. For us to solve the crime or this case, we need to analyze the available evidences that is left behind in the scene of the crime. So by analyzing the evidences, we can solve the crime and we can draw an idea or conclusion on what is really happened to this victim. So that is the inference. So do you get it, class? Okay, next is the inference questions. So what is inference questions? So inference questions involves reading between the lines. What do you mean by reading between the lines? It is the ability to read what has been implied. It is the process of drawing conclusion or making a logical guess based on available evidences and prior knowledge, often described as a reading between the lines. This skills allows readers to understand deeper meaning, make predicts, and interpret text beyond literal word presented. So I have here an example of what is inference questions. Can you please read, miss? Okay. Based on the example, the writer does not implicitly state that the man in the story to eliminate the person. So by reading it correctly is to infer, and to imply is the truth. To infer is the catch. You get it, class? Inferring is to imply, and to imply is the truth. What does that mean? This means that implying is when the writer or speaker hint at something without saying it outright. But inferring is when the reader or listener understand or guess the hidden meaning based on the hints that given by the writer. So in the example, if you read it correctly, George's action imply he wants to end the meeting quickly. You can imply it based on the given clues in the sentence. So next is the teaching inference. Why is teaching inference? Teaching inference is very important because it is essential to develop students' critical thinking and depth comprehension skills, enabling them to understand not just what is implicitly stated, but also what is implied in the text and situations. Do you get it, class? Teaching inference requires students with foundational inference to equip students with foundational cognitive skills that support deeper understanding, better decision making, and meaningful engagement with the worlds around them. So, for example, seeing a smoke outside the window and smelling a burning food. So, based on the sentence, you can analyze the given evidences or hints or clues. So, based on the evidences presented in the sentence, the smoke and the smell of a burning food, you can draw an inference or an idea of what is really happening. So of course, based on the evidences, it's obvious that there is a burning food in the neighbor. Another example is if you saw a cup of water and that cup is making some smoke. If you infer it based on the evidences, you will conclude that this cup is full of hot water, or this cup is full of very hot water. So next is the tips in making inference. We have here 5 tips in making inference. So first is the look for clues. So what is look for clues? So when you are trying to make an inference, it's important to look for clues that help you figure what's going on. This could be things like actions, pictures, or etc. So by paying attention to these clues, you gather pieces of the puzzle that helps you understand deeper and bigger picture. Do you get it, class? Next is the connecting the dots. Making inference is like connecting the dots between the clues you found. Making an inference is like putting a puzzle pieces by pieces. So by putting a puzzle piece by pieces together, you can connect multiple clues, so you can build a logical conclusion about what is really happening or being implied. That is connecting the dots. So next is, or the third one is, use your own experiences. So in making inference, sometimes the best way is to use your own experiences. Your personal experiences and knowledge can help you understand situation better, so that you better calm down and analyze the situation carefully. So next is the consider different perspective. This means that when you are trying to make an inference, you need to consider different perspective or point of view of other character, so you can create an reasonable inference. So the last tips in making inference is be flexible. Be flexible. Making reasonable inferences means being willing to change your mind as you get more information. Do you get it? willing to change your mind as you get more information. Good inference making requires an open-minded, because sometimes your first guess is, or sometimes your first guess might be wrong, and the new clues might suggest a different interpretation. So you need to be flexible. You need to adjust yourself for you to be able to make a good inference. So that's all, class. I hope you get something from me. Thank you.